Since today, no matter where you go to search, whether you go to Google search, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, or any other website where they have search-like or conversation-like capability, and when you want some information, whether it's what product should I buy or what's the right answer for something, what's happening underneath is GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. All of these search engines are using artificial intelligence to generate the best answer for you. But how do they do that? If we look at this graphic, and if GEO is the center of everything, right? Everything is generative engine optimization. What is this pink circle? What powers GEO? And that is LLM SEO, large language model. What does that mean? It's actually simple enough, because when you're using ChatGPT, what's happening underneath is ChatGPT, the interface, is selecting an artificial intelligence model to provide you the answer. Earlier models were ChatGPT 1, ChatGPT 2, ChatGPT 3, 4, 5, etc. It's going to go on like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They just keep getting smarter. It's the same with all of them. When you go to perplexity.com or googlesearch.com, underneath there is an evolving and improving large language model that powers everything. So first, these engines, all of these tools, they process the information from your website, and then when people ask them questions to generate the answers to the questions, all these tools reference the LLM model they have underneath to extract the best information. Now, what does that mean for you? It's very simple, because LLM SEO is just going to go and interpret your website. The most important thing for you to do on your website is to structure the content on your website in as clear as possible a way. Now, when I say structure your content, it can be confusing because there is a term structured content and there's another term content structure. It sounds similar, but it's different. Structured content can sometimes mean something technical in the way you lay out your HTML and other parts of your technology stack. That's actually not what we're talking about here. Here, we're only concerned with the structure of your content, meaning how you as a human conceptualized the layout of the information on your website. What's going to be first, what's going to be second, what's going to be on page X, what's going to be on page Y, how easy is it going to be for people and AI models to understand what your website is all about, your level of authority, etc. That's what you really want to get right, is how you lay out all the content on your website, which is actually not that hard. It's logical. We'll talk about it a lot in this course, but it's also just intuitive. So with this graphic, what I was trying to drive home is when you think of GEO, you are really thinking of, I'm going to move things around here. The arrow is going to get shortened. You're thinking GEO are these things, right? ChatGPT, Perplexity, but actually the answers are powered by the models underneath. What are the models? Just for curiosity's sake, here are the corresponding models. For example, when you go to ChatGPT, the model is GPT-5, 4, whatever. When you go to Perplexity, it's Claude Sonnet. When you go to actually Bing Copilot, it's also powered by GPT-5, the same model that powers ChatGPT. We are not too concerned with what the model is underneath, but we should be aware of how GEO and LLM SEO work together and what their relationship is. But as SEO marketers, our job remains similar. Provide clearly structured good content from authoritative sources, because that's one of the things that these large language models will look for. How clearly is the content structured? How expert is the author? Obviously, they look at many other details, but those are some of the main ones. So hopefully that clearly illustrates the relationship between LLM SEO and GEO.